Hey, welcome to America.
The best movies.
Did this get released?
No, it has no release date in the UK yet.
Do you think it's because of the one scene where Pedro's using nunchucks?
So, we went to middle school, the worst years of my life, which I spent most of this movie coming up with alternate subtitles for, like,
oh god,
middle school, the most stupid way to spend 90 minutes this October, perhaps?
You leaned over to me 15 minutes in, like, this is gonna be a long fucking 90 minutes.
I knew exactly what this kind of movie was gonna be 15 minutes into it. And then it managed to go underneath my expectations.
Yeah, we'll get to the spoilers later, because this movie went in some directions that I didn't think it was gonna go several times. I haven't been this annoyed at middle school since 1995. First of all, any movie with a title like this, I probably won't like. A title like Middle School, The Worst Years of My Life, unless it's about somebody who survives a school shooting, it's probably gonna be about some entitled little spoiled douchebag. And it is.
Yeah.
I guess the kid from Diary of a Wimpy Kid got too old, so we have another possible franchise now about a kid who's an artist and his drawings come to life in animation.
They're pretty shameless about how much they crib from the Diary of the Wimpy Kid movies if they were really fucking stupid. I mean, it's amazing. I was having real problems with those animation sequences because by themselves, they're actually kind of fun, but they also stop the movie completely whenever they happen.
Towards the end in the climax, when it cut to about 15 minutes of an animated car chase, running over an armadillo and shit, like, fuck, can we wrap this up?
It's because if there wasn't an animated sequence, that climax would be over in 30 seconds.
Yes, it would have. With a, God forbid, they don't rush to the climax of this thing.
So
I'll stick with, like, One Crazy Summer with John Cusack and his doodles. I'll be fine with that.
Yeah, you can tell that the people that animated it were really thinking that they were Chuck Joneses, and no, they weren't. No, they weren't.
If you've seen the trailer of this movie, and you get the vibe that you'll probably root for the adults in it, or at least one adult in particular, Andy Daly as the principal. That's very much the case. I did kind of spend most of the time rooting for Andy Daly, because he was the best character in the movie. Any chuckle I had in this film was from him.
His performance in this movie it was the kind of performance where someone knows they're in a really shitty kids movie, and someone told him to really play up to what a kid's idea of a really strict principal is. He is the sort of principal that goes around going, "No jokes." He actually, at one point in the movie, goes, "No bathroom breaks for anyone."
No bathroom breaks for anyone. Why does this test say true or false? The principal has 3 nipples. I'll have you know, I actually have no nipples, and I am beautiful.
Occasionally, he will have a funny line.
No, yeah, when he said that the one kid's stepmom was hot.
Yeah.
And when he said something about his ex-wife.
Oh yeah, that was the one line that sort of cracked me up in the movie.
Yeah.
My wife told me that I really shouldn't be taking the Blair test so seriously, and that's why I left her.
Yeah. Who's laughing now? So this movie is about this kid who finds a new middle school because he's been expelled from all of his other ones. I guess for being a serious wet blanket.
Yeah.
It seems like that's the worst this kid has previously done.
Yeah.
He's just a sad sack, so expelled.
He's got an annoying little sister that the first time we see her is literally she walks into her brother's bedroom after the alarm has just gone off at 6 a.m. to go to the mother, played by Lauren Grantham, and goes, "Where's my breakfast?"
I'm always happy seeing Lauren Graham in movies.
Yeah.
Like I am. Oh, really? Her popping up just made me excited. We get more Gilmore Girls towards the end of November.
It was weird how she vaguely kind of disappeared towards the end of the movie. Because her character is a sous chef, which seems like a character trait that they introduced that might actually go anywhere, but no.
No, unless that's a plot point in the book.
Yeah.
I know this is based on a series of books.
This is based on a book like Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Yeah, and I don't know which book came first in between those two, but given that the movie, there's 3 Diary of a Wimpy Kids before this. Of course, that's what I'm going to think about watching this.
It probably is more recent because they did a shitload of cultural references. It does that annoying thing that all the kids movies do that tries to prove that they're really hip.
Oh, when he was bringing Drake into his lesson, the teacher, which by the way,
that wasn't the first sign. That was when they did an Uber joke, and then they followed it up with Facebook jokes, and then that was like the last straw. Because Adam Pally is the cool teacher.
Did you notice that you could see where the chalkboard had been erased from previous takes? You could see that chart that he soon draws in the take because they'd shot it a few times and didn't quite erase it all the way.
Yeah. So he's really cool because he knows rappers, because apparently he's down with the streets.
Yeah, which... Okay, there's several issues that I have here. They prove in this movie that this is the worst teacher in the school. Yeah. Like, because...
He's teaching the remedial class, and he's pretty bad at it.
Yeah, like, Andy Daly honestly brings up several good points in this movie, one of which being that... Because the arc in this movie is that it's 8 weeks out from this test, that all this standardized testing.
The BLAR test.
The BLAR test.
They keep telling you that over and over again.
Yeah, 8 days till BLAR, 7 days till BLAR. There's this standardized test that everyone has to take, and the school as a whole isn't doing that well in their current testing because of this one class, because of this one teacher.
He's bringing all the average scores down.
Yeah, but... Andy Daly is the villain in this movie, so we're supposed to be rooting against him, but I'm really not at this point. Like, okay, Andy Daly in this film, later on towards the end of the movie, he starts doing some illegal shit, but before then, he's just really strict. Like, suck it up, kid. Like, in 3 years, you'll be out of this school. Just tuck in your fucking shirt. Who gives a shit? Like, yeah, he's strict. Probably because he wants you little shits to do well in this testing, because if you do well in this testing, odds are the school will get more funding.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, the kid in this movie... See, the thing is, you know, it's very clear early on that something has happened with this kid, and we'll get to that in a minute,
yeah, boy, howdy,
that's a whole bag of worms right there. But we're clear about this. But at the same time, he's got this notepad full of doodles, and sort of the thing that instigates this entire movie is that his book gets taken away from him, and
And so Andy Daly goes, bring out the bucket of acid. Like, he has his own bucket of dip from Roger Rabbit that he melts.
Bright blue dip.
Bright blue dip that he melts this kid's doodles in a thing of acid, and you see the cartoon characters dying. Trust me, it's not as disturbing as when Judge Doom melted the fucking shoe in Roger Rabbit.
Yeah. And so it's all started off, and what I was thinking during this stage was, you know what? This kid really has his head in the clouds. It's like, okay, it's understandable that he kind of does, but at the same time, you're going to school. You probably shouldn't spend the whole time doodling in your book, for crying out loud. It's like, give it a few years, you can post it on DeviantArt.
This kid's already on DeviantArt, I'll bet anything. So because of this incident, the kid then wants to break every rule
he wants to destroy the rule book in exchange for destroying his book.
Which shows that this kid is a superhero. Because, first of all, this school has the worst security I have ever seen in any movie about school. It doesn't matter what decade the movie was made. This movie takes place in the present. This school has the worst security because he just comes and goes in there anytime he wants to vandalize shit, but even the vandalism he does would take 20 people probably a full week to do, which this one kid does just by simply going in early.
You leaned into me when at the very
first post-it note sequence.
Yeah, the post-it. That's the very first prank, is the post-it note sequence. And you've seen that bit in the trailer where they decorate.
Oh, it's extended in the actual movie.
Yeah, it's not just the principal's office in the movie. He decorated about half the school corridor.
Yeah, and it's not just sticking up a bunch of post-it notes. He made faces and words and
he decorated it.
Yeah, what would take like a skilled Post-it note artist, I guess, if that's a thing.
It's almost like they had a Hollywood production designer to
yes!
do that.
What would take this kid probably a week to do, he just did overnight. There's no security in this school that saw him coming and going or doing any of this.
Yeah, there's no cameras.
Yeah.
And I think it's almost established in the movie that there's no cameras, because near the end of the movie, the IT student, the one that we can clearly tell that he has a crush on because she's creative.
Yeah. Who has to stop the movie dead to explain VHSs to him?
Oh, that scene was so cringeworthy. I could feel you stewing in the seat. But this is a box that goes inside a bigger box. Yeah, it turns out that she's been technically illegally recording inside the school and set up her own surveillance system. So basically there to expose a crucial plot point. So it's basically there to expose the principal for doing all the illegal stuff, as opposed to the kid doing all this illegal stuff that would get him caught in a heartbeat.
Yeah, whether it's like hooking like the dye to the sprinkler system. What if there was a real fire?
I was just thinking during that sequence, what if the paint got in everyone's eyes?
Or like the room full of balls too. I'm just like, it would take so many people so much time to do all that.
Yeah, they had to perfectly close the door behind him.
It would honestly make sense if this movie was written in the 80s. If it was written to where, like, it wouldn't make sense regardless, but because of the fact that this movie would only be 5 minutes if anyone bothered to use any kind of recording device, it makes me think, like, was this movie written 30 years ago? Like, because, okay, there's a subplot from Rob Riggle playing a loudmouth doofus, because I've never seen that before in 1,000 fucking movies.
That act wasn't old in the first time he does it, let alone the 50th time he's done that now.
Not to mention, in this movie, he's playing Alec Baldwin's character from Cat in the Hat. Right down to, he's the evil mom's boyfriend, to the fact he wants to get rid of the kids by sending them to military school. So the mom doesn't see how much of a jerk he is, but the kids do. The kids do see.
Yeah, he's a womanizing prick.
Yeah, if only the kids had some kind of device on them that could record him doing this.
Yeah. And it basically is a setup for all these animated sequences where he's a bear that exist solely to pad out the running time. And even during those sequences, I was still going, well, the kid's a real shit, so I'm kind of siding with Rob Riggle's character.
I side with Rob Riggle's character on one point. Other than that, he's just there to be a loudmouth doof, like the stereotypical Rob Riggle kind of movie role. But there's one part in the movie where he suggests that the kid needs therapy.
Yeah,
and that's the one smart thing he says in this movie.
He's really obsessed with his car, and I bet you've never seen a movie before where someone's car gets trashed because it's their prized possession. I did like how that was eventually at the end of the movie she leaves him because he's abject about the car being stolen, because apparently that's not a thing he should be worried. That's not a thing he should be worried about while the kids are also missing.
Right, like there's like 1,000 other things you could have left this guy for. What the fuck?
I do like how most of the plot points in this movie just fizzle out. They don't really have any sort of major impacting conclusion. They just sort of
not really.
We're just wrapping the movie up now. Okay, fair enough.
There's one thing though, because this thing about therapy transitions into this other point about this. So, the main character, Rafe, he has a best friend in this movie. And I've seen this other kid actor before in some other things, but I can't think of what.
Yeah.
So he's like the best friend that you see in a lot of movies like this. Like, if this movie were made in the 80s, he'd be Curtis Armstrong.
Yeah.
So you find out as the movie goes on that at one point, Rafe had a little brother, and the little brother got sick and died.
Yeah.
Now, I know you see where I'm going with this, but trust me, we didn't when we were watching the movie.
I kind of felt stupid after. Well, actually, I didn't feel stupid over where this was heading, but go on.
Here's how it plays out. Like, so he's with his best friend through a lot of this movie. Like, he sneaks in through the window, he helps him set up his pranks. Like, he's the high school movie goofy smart-ass friend. So when there's this dramatic moment with Rafe and Lauren Graham, and they're talking about how much they miss the brother, the camera pans down to this old picture of all of them together, and the brother is the friend.
Yeah.
He's been talking to, like, fucking Charlie St. Cloud throughout this whole fucking movie.
They Nick Sparks this shit.
And I seriously sat there like, what? Like, out loud, I think I went, oh, man.
I laughed at that moment. We both turned to each other like, I can't believe we both fell for that.
Here's why I fell for that, because who goes into a movie like this expecting a Shyamalan twist?
Yeah, I was also thinking, well, who goes into this movie expecting something so stupid to happen?
It gets dumber.
Standards.
It gets ridiculous, because when the love interest is secretly recording all the stuff in the hallways, she does record him having a conversation with nothing, because he's talking to a ghost. So you're thinking when you're watching it like, okay, are we just seeing it like this, and maybe this isn't really happening in reality, that he's having a conversation?
Like the cartoon sequences.
Yeah. Like, okay.
But no, he is actually talking to his dead brother.
Yeah.
He's talking to no one.
He's having a conversation with no one, and the love interest is like, I think that's sweet. The kid sees animation come to life in front of him, and he's talking to ghosts. He does need therapy.
Yeah, he needs some serious help. The funniest bit was at the end of the movie when he's talking to the kid, and it turns out she's been waiting in a bush behind the tree.
But you missed a crucial point about that ending sequence, which is yes, the dead kid ghost does leave. Because when the movie is all wrapped up, it's night, and he's in front of the school, and he's talking to the dead kid, and then a spaceship shows up. I wish I was making this up.
Yeah.
Then a
giant animated spaceship.
A giant animated spaceship shows up that does the beam that sucks the kid up into it, and he's bye, like it's E.T. And he's bye, and then the kid's looking up and waving, and the spaceship leaves. Pan over, the love interest girl was watching all of this happen, but again is just kind of like, hey, like she's clapping because like he had an inside joke that he said with the brother, and she didn't know what that meant, so she asked him what that meant, not wondering why he's talking to nothing, looking up at nothing in the sky, smiling and waving like a lunatic. But no, that's charming, you know, like, oh, that's cute. And then in that same scene, they have their first kiss, him and the girl, after he's talked to a ghost who left in a spaceship. What the fuck?
And that's how the movie ends. That is
the movie ends in space.
Yeah.
The movie literally ends in space.
Poochie died on the way to his home planet.
Yeah. Wow. And we left the theater, and I looked at you and went, we surprisingly have a lot to talk about with this movie.
Yeah. Middle school, how to commit criminal property damage.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Like they commit loads of crimes in this movie. I mean, there's the fact that they tampered with the sprinkler system, they steal Rob Riggle's car, they destroy it, which Lauren Graham is like, ha, that's really funny. It's like, no, he could call the police.
And, yeah, this movie, like, I've seen plenty of shenanigans movie where they do illegal stuff throughout the whole thing, and you laugh because the movie's well written, or it's got likable characters, or maybe there's enough, like, minor context to it to where you easily forgive shenanigans that go on in a movie like that. Look, one of my favorite 80s comedies is Weird Science, like the granddaddy of like 80s shenanigans movie. Yeah. Is there illegal stuff in that? Lord, yes!
Yeah.
But you're rooting for these guys. Because, you know, they're bad with women, they get picked on a little bit. You're rooting for Gary and Wyatt, you know? Like, yeah, go ahead, Gary, drive like 120 miles an hour. If it means you get to have a kiss with the cute blonde girl, go for it, man, do it. In this, Well, just suck it up, kid.
It's
Like, tuck in your shirt.
It is.
Fuck.
It is for the most petty of reasons.
Yeah.
And it's a stupid middle school feud with the head teacher and the. Like, I love how the movie is all shocked that the head teacher does illegal stuff, because he frames the class at the end of the movie. He frames the class by putting all the stuff that has been used for the pranks into the lockers of this class. He tries to artificially raise the test by suspending all the students in this class and firing
That's a King of the
Tally.
Hill episode,
Yeah.
too.
And so there's that, and the movie is meant to be, oh my god, what he did was illegal. That doesn't really, that's a bit hypocritical.
It really kind of is. Like, yeah, it is a little bit.
Kids,
But, like,
kids, it's okay to break rules that you don't agree with if the person that's enforcing them is a dick. That's the message of this movie, apparently.
like, so he had a dress code. Like, he had a dress code. He made him walk in a line. Like,
No loitering.
This movie is like if, like, The Wall was a Disney production. Like, someone who goes to a military school would watch a movie like this and laugh.
Yeah.
Like, oh no.
I did love how going to military school. We fucking established that you have been kicked out of all the schools in the area. You had to make sure that you didn't get expelled from this one. What the fuck did you think was going to happen at the end of this game?
If he didn't like Andy Daly's rules, he's gonna go like fucking Tom Cruise at the end of Taps at military school. Shit.
I love how the scene where he actually gets expelled, the reason that he gets expelled is to do with the sprinkler system, because he tries to save the class by going into the principal's office, and he gets onto the principal's desk and essentially threatens him by lifting up a lighter that I'm pretty sure he shouldn't have in this school anyway, and holds it up to the sprinkler system. Like, that is illegal.
But in that same scene,
Like,
Andy
what
Daly.
do you think was going to happen in any school if you hold up a lighter and set off the sprinkler system? You're going to get, at the very least, suspended, if not
totally.
expelled.
And all that kid had to do was to just have a recording device on him, because Andy Daly blackmails him. Andy Daly totally blackmails him in that scene. All he needed to do was have his goddamn phone recording in that scene. The whole thing could have been fixed in 30 seconds.
Well, it's like the movie forgets all the technological references they just had to shoehorn into the movie. Like the fact they keep referencing, it's trending on Twitter, it's going to other schools. But like, they have that token effort in there, but otherwise it feels like they forget the fact they have phones, it feels like they forget they have technology, they forget they have a friend that works in the AV club that apparently is occupied by one solitary person, so why are they running an AV club at this school anyway?
Yeah. It's stupid. Yeah. It's this movie's really bad.
Yeah.
Like, I can't recommend this. Like, obviously not to see it in the theater, but don't
take your kids to go see this movie.
No.
It's got really bad messages for kids anyway.
If you want to show them a good shenanigans movie, like, keep the kids home, watch Weird Science. Fuck.
Make them if you want to show them the Diary of the Wimpy Kid movies, just make them watch those. There's 3 of them. You can get them in the Walmart bin, for crying out loud. And
There's 3 to choose from. You don't have to pay to go see this shit.
They're better movies than this.
I honestly never saw the first 2. I saw the 3rd one. And I don't remember liking it, but I can say that it was probably better than this.
There were families in that screening. There were families.
There were a couple, yeah.
Not very many.
No,
but there
and
were
they came in
families.
late, too.
Yeah. But I think we were the only ones that laughed, and we were the only ones that were laughing at the stuff that I'm pretty sure 99% that wasn't supposed to be funny.
Like, the kid turning out to be a ghost. Like, I'm pretty sure we weren't supposed to laugh at that. Some of Andy Daly's lines, so a few of those got me, but that's... You can watch so much better things that involve Andy Daly. Yeah. Why even waste your time watching this on Netflix?
I was a little bit curious because we were looking on Rotten Tomatoes and there were no critic reviews.
Shockingly.
Which indicated that they didn't screen this for critics, which seemed a bit unusual for the kind of film this is. Having seen this, I understand 100% why Lionsgate didn't screen this for critics, because they would have torn this a new arsehole.
Because this is a movie that should have been just direct to the Disney Channel.
Yeah.
Like honestly, this is like a teen network movie that is somehow in theaters right now.
I mean, I thought this movie was going to be dumb. I didn't realize the sort of almost Herculean amounts of just stupidity in this movie.
It was, other than the twists that this movie has, which again, a movie like this has twists. What the fuck? Other than it going in the supernatural direction. Yeah, other than it going in like the supernatural direction. The movie played out like I thought it would from the trailers, like with all the pranks that are. It's big fat liar for this generation.
You can clearly tell it's aimed right towards its specific audience. There's very few jokes that are aimed at adults, and what there are super awkward. This is the kind of movie where there's at least 2 moments where they allude to swearing, but they can't do it because it's a PG movie.
Yeah.
Like there's that bit where he shuts down the AV club and it cuts to the AV club girl going, "Oh shit, beep, beep." Yeah.
Yeah.
What rhymes with suck? Nothing good. Just like the movie.
Just say fuck. You're in a room with a ghost. The ghost isn't gonna tell on you. Fuck.
The ghost that manages to give you journals somehow.
Yeah. Right. They could just pick this one moment to open that. My final thought on this is just skip it. Like, it's seeing us talk about how insane this movie gets is probably more entertaining than seeing it for yourself, especially when you know what's gonna happen in it, because we've already spoiled it for you. Yeah. That's my final thought on this. Skip it.
Don't go and see this. In 2 weeks, this movie will be gone and will be quickly forgotten about, and then some idiot will review it on the internet.
We're those idiots reviewing it on the internet. We paid for the ticket. The ticket guy laughed at us when we 2 for middle school.
We're adults.
From middle school.
Hey, I have got Bucks babysitting.
God, I haven't felt that uncomfortable since saying 2 for little boy.
Yeah.
Shit. Well, we're about to go see Girl on the Train.
Yeah, we just heard Emily Blunt go past, so, yeah.
Yeah. Right? Oh, thank God the movie's arrived. See ya.
See ya.